Hello everyone, welcome back to this lecture in which we are going to understand about some more terms that are related to the Atterberg limits of soil. So the first term that you can see here is the sensitivity of a soil. What is sensitivity in general terms? Let us assume that if I am talking about the sensitivity of a person, that means even if I say a bit harsh words, he or she might feel a really bad or pathetic behavior from me. Or if I am saying that someone is insensitive, that means even if I curse him, then nothing is going to affect him. So what is meant by this if I am talking about the soil? It means that if I try to disturb a particular soil, if I try to remold the soil and no change in the strength is seen, that means I will say that particular soil is insensitive. But for example, let us suppose if a soil is remolded slightly and a big change in its strength is observed, that means I will say that that particular soil is highly sensitive. So actually, what is sensitivity for a soil? It is nothing but that is an indication that how much the remolding or disturbance will affect the soil strength. So what is the sensitivity? Sensitivity is nothing but that is, it is the measure of effect of a disturbance or remolding of a soil on its strength. So obviously, as I am going to check the strength, that means I have to actually calculate or use a particular strength unit, and here we actually use the unconfined compressive strength of the soil. So this sensitivity is simply defined as the UCS of a soil, but obviously here we actually use the UCS of undisturbed soil in the numerator to the UCS of a remolded soil in the denominator. Remolded soil in the denominator. See, this is simply the formula of your sensitivity of soil. And what is UCS? That is nothing but that is unconfined compressive strength of the soil. So what is UCS? UCS is unconfined compressive strength of the soil. And yes, also remember here that this is actually the strength of soil, and that we are going to understand in the separate chapter about the strength of soil in detail. But yes, for now you can understand that this is the strength of soil, and that is UCS. Its unit will be kilonewton per meter square. That is the general unit of strength of any particular material. So if I ask you that, let us suppose if the soil strength suddenly decreases, that means because of the disturbance the strength decreases, that means I can say that the soil is sensitive. So here generally what I can say that generally the value of a sensitivity is more than 1 for most soil. And here obviously I am defining the soil as clay because we are talking about only the fine grained soil. Now, can this S can be lesser than 1 also? See, when this S will be less than 1, if S can be less than 1, if the remolded strength will be more as compared to the earlier undisturbed strength. And that is actually possible if the soil that was present was already a cracked soil in the initial or present state. Or it is possible also when the remolding will actually increase the strength of the soil. And that is actually possible for the stiff clay. That is possible for stiff clay when remolding of soil increases the strength of soil. Strength of soil. And yes, example are stiff clay having fissures or cracks in it. Having fissures or cracks in it. Fine. So this is the exception, but generally the value of S will be greater than 1, and according to the value of sensitivity, we actually name the soil. Like if the value of a sensitivity is equals to be 1, then the soil is termed to be insensitive. That means there is no effect of the disturbance to the soil. If the value of S is between 1 and 2, then the soil is termed to be low sensitive. Whereas if the S value is between 2 and 4, then the soil is termed to be of medium sensitivity. That is medium sensitive soil. Whereas if the value is between 4 and 8, then the soil is termed to be sensitive soil. Whereas if it is between 8 and 16, then the soil is termed to be extra sensitive soil. Extra sensitive soil. And if it is more than 16, then the soil is termed to be quick soil. That means even a slight disturbance on such particular quick soil may collapse the whole soil, and it will start behaving as a liquid if it is disturbed. Why it is as a liquid? Because a liquid have very low strength. So because of the remolding, if the soil becomes like liquid or it loses most of its strength, then the soil is termed to be quick soil. Now please don't confuse this with a quicksand condition. Quicksand condition is different, and quick soil according to the sensitivity is different. So what is quicksand condition? That we are going to understand in the chapter that is seepage through soil, not in this chapter. So now let us move ahead to the next term, and the next term that we are going to discuss here is nothing but that is activity of clay. Activity of clay. And that is why it is sometimes represented as AC. Now let me ask you that what is the activity of a student in class? I am just teaching here right now, so I am just asking you that what is the activity of a student in classroom? His activity can be to study or to talk with other fellows. Similarly, let us answer that what will be the activity of a player in the football. Let us suppose if I am talking about football, then the activity of a player in football match is either to hit a goal or to defend a goal. If he is doing that, that means I can say that the player is highly active. Yes or no? If he is not even touching the ball, that means I will say that the player is inactive. Yes or no? Similarly, the function of clay in the soil is to impart cohesion in the soil. Yes or no? And if the cohesion is more, that means the soil will be more plastic and the value of a plasticity index will be more. So to calculate the value of activity of the clay, what we actually do, we simply divide the plasticity index of the soil, because this is nothing but this is indicating the cohesion that is imparted by the clay in the soil. So plasticity index to the clay content. This is actually the ratio that will define you the activity of clay, because if clay is more active, that means more cohesion will be provided even when the clay content is less. And here more cohesion means more plasticity index. So it can actually be represented as IP upon small c. So this is actually the formula of activity of clay. Now let us move ahead that this activity is actually imparted because of some clay minerals that are present in the soil. And actually there are total 3 most prominent type of minerals that are present in the clay. The first one is the kaolite. And it is most inactive, having the activity value between 0.5 4 and 0.5. Whereas the next one is the elite mineral, and elite mineral have an activity between 0.5 and 1. Whereas if I am talking about the most active mineral, that is nothing but that is montmorillonite, that is present in the black cotton soil. So the name is montmorillonite mineral, which is present in the black cotton soil, and its activity lies from 1 to 7. Okay, and yes, on the basis of the value of activity, the soil is also named. Like for example, if activity of soil is lesser than 0.75, then the soil is termed to be inactive soil. Inactive soil. Whereas if activity is between 0.75 to 1.25, then the soil is termed to be normal soil. Whereas if activity is more than 1.25, then the soil is termed to be active soil. Okay, so obviously there can be some questions that will ask you that what type of soil is it if the value of AC is given in the question. So that is the possibility. Now let us move ahead to the next term, and the next term that we are going to discuss here is actually the last term for the Atterberg limits, and that is the Thixotrophy. Thixotrophy of soil. So what is Thixotrophy? Simply see, Thixotrophy is the property of soil because of which it regains its lost strength with time. What is it? As the time passes, gradually the soil who has already lost some strength try to regain its lost strength with time, and that property is known as Thixotrophy. Why this occurs? Because see, gradually as the time passes, the particles having some charge on it will try to form some bonds, and with the time that bond will become more and more strong. Yes or no? Even polarization of the molecules will take place with the time, and hence the bonding, that is chemical bonding or the force bonding, will be increased with the time. Similarly, with the time, the rearrangement of solids will take place to such a way that the density of the soil will keep on increasing, and hence the friction will increase with the time also. So here what I can say, that with the passage of time, strength of soil will increase. So what is Thixotrophy? It is the property of soil. It is the property of soil by virtue of which soil regains its lost shear strength with time. Lost shear strength with time, with the passage of time. So why this happens? This happens because of why this happens? It happens, I hope most of you might not be aware of this short form of the because. Okay, so I am writing down that again. Because of, the first one is the strengthening of bonds, or charges also, and the second is the rearrangement to increase in the friction or contact area, because as the time passes, contact area keeps on increasing. Okay, so if, let us suppose, if I try to draw a graph indicating the shear strength, and let us suppose I have just now disturbed the soil. So obviously with the disturbance of soil, the shear strength of soil will be lost. Yes or no? But the disturbance is actually a quick activity. It will take very less time. Whereas due to Thixotrophy, the regain of strength will take long time, and hence generally here you will say that the strength will keep on increasing, but it will be a very gradual and slow process. Even with a long time, you will see here that the strength is not exactly equal to the original strength. Why? Because there will be some permanent loss in the strength, and this is nothing but this is, let me write down that again here, that this is nothing but this is permanent loss of strength. Permanent loss of strength. And this actually, this graph rise is indicating that thixotrophy property exists in the soil. So this graph is sometimes even represented along with the thixotrophy, just to represent that how the soil regains its strength with the time. And let us suppose if you again disturb the soil, then again the strength will fall down, and again with the passage of time the soil will regain its strength. So this is the graph that indicates that how the strength is regained by the soil, and this property of regaining of the strength is known as thixotrophy. So that's all for this lecture and for this chapter. Obviously, in our next lecture, we are going to solve some of the numericals or questions on the basis of the concepts that we have learned till now in this chapter. So let's meet again in our next lecture. Till then, keep learning, keep growing.